Picture this. You have a message that you know can change the world, but it's threatening the entire old order. Now imagine carrying that message, walking through hostile crowds, looking for, not just for followers, but for a safe harbor, a place where this message can finally be heard without fear. This is the story of that search, a journey that would really define the soul of a new faith.
So after a really brutal rejection in the city of At-Taif, the Prophet Muhammad turned his attention to the annual Hajj pilgrimage. This was a golden opportunity. You have all the most powerful and diverse tribes of Arabia all gathered in one spot. The mission was about to enter a brand new, absolutely crucial phase, the search for real allies.
But this wasn't just about, finding a few new converts here and there. The goal was way more strategic. At its heart, the mission was to find a tribe that had actual military muscle, one that could provide a secure base, a sanctuary, a place where the new Muslim community could finally be safe from the constant persecution of the Quraysh back in Mecca, and from where the message could be shared freely.
Of course, this search wasn't going to be easy. Not at all. Every single step taken in those crowded marketplaces was met with a shadow, a constant and very public opposition that was designed to just stamp out the message before anyone could even hear it.
And this opposition was relentless, and it was personal. We're talking about the Prophet's own uncle, Abu Lahab, who would literally follow him from tribe to tribe, shouting at everyone, "Do not listen to him, for indeed he is a liar." You had tribes reacting with pure hostility, sometimes spitting in his face or throwing dirt on him. It was a daily gauntlet of public humiliation and rejection, all designed to make his task completely impossible.
Now, what's really interesting here is how the strategy had to change. To get around all this constant public harassment, the approach became much more discreet, much more tactical. Appointments were set at night when the Quraysh couldn't interfere. Instead of talking in open markets, the Prophet started visiting tribal leaders directly in their own tents. And he brought along key companions like Abu Bakr, who was basically a walking encyclopedia of tribal history, knowing the strengths, weaknesses, and lineage of every major player.
This new strategy led to a series of really critical negotiations. And these meetings weren't just about military alliances. They became this profound test of the movement's core values, pitting worldly power against divine principle.
And this test of principle really came to a head in two crucial encounters. First, you have the powerful tribe of Banu Amir, a group that saw a real political opportunity. And then you have the honorable tribe of Banu Shayban, who were genuinely moved by the truth of the message itself. Two very different meetings. The leader of Banu Amir, a man named Bayarhara ibn Fras, was pretty blunt about it. He saw the potential here and made a tempting offer. He said, "Look, we'll give you our military support. We'll fight for you. We'll help you win." But then he asks, "What's in it for us? When you're victorious, does the leadership pass to us after you're gone?" It was a classic political power play.
And the response here just brilliantly illustrates the core principle of the whole mission. The Prophet's reply was crystal clear. Leadership, authority, victory. These aren't things he can just give away as political favors. They belong to God and God alone. Faced with this refusal to bargain, Banu Amir walked away, saying, "We have no need of your affair."
So, after rejecting an alliance built on worldly ambition, the very next encounter would hinge on something completely different, the sheer power of the word itself.
Inside the tent of the Banu Shayban, the whole atmosphere was a world apart. There was no talk of political deals here. Instead, the tribe's leaders, these dignified men like Mafruk, Hani, and Al-Muthana, they just sat and listened with genuine respect and deep thought. They wanted to hear the message, not negotiate the terms.
And what did they hear? It wasn't a call to arms or a promise of power. It was a recitation from the Quran, a call to worship God alone, to honor your parents, to protect the vulnerable, and to be just. It was a message that spoke directly to the highest moral and ethical ideals a person could have.
And the effect was immediate. Mafruk, one of the leaders, was just deeply moved. He declared that this was a call to the noblest of manners and the best of deeds, recognizing the profound moral truth in what he was hearing. The message itself had won them over. But there was a problem.
You see, this honorable tribe, as impressed as they were by the message, was living in the shadow of a massive geopolitical reality. Their decision wasn't just about what they believed, it was about their very survival against one of the era's global superpowers.
Al-Muthana, their military chief,
laid it all out. He explained that their tribe was settled right on the border of the mighty Persian Empire, which was ruled by the emperor Kisra, and they lived there under a covenant, a treaty, that basically dictated their entire foreign policy.
They were brutally honest about it. They said, look, we can protect you against any other Arab tribe, no problem, but we cannot protect you from Persia. Their treaty forbade them from giving shelter to anyone the emperor considered an enemy. And protecting the prophet, well, that would mean certain war with a superpower they knew they couldn't possibly defeat. They could only offer partial protection, and that just wasn't enough.
So the prophet left the tribe of Banu Shayban without an alliance. And on the surface, it looks like this entire grueling journey through markets and tents ended in failure. But that's not the whole story, not even close.
And this is really the key question, isn't it? After facing all that public humiliation, navigating tricky political deals, and being turned away even by people who believed in the message, was this entire exhausting effort just a waste of time? The answer is a definitive no. The true victory was never about securing an immediate treaty. It was in the process itself. By rejecting the offer from Banu Amir, the mission's principles were purified and clarified. This was about God's will, not about worldly ambition. And by speaking with Banu Shayban, seeds of truth were planted in the hearts of good, honorable men. This whole journey was a testament to absolute, unwavering faith in the face of impossible odds.
And this is where the unseen victory becomes just incredible. Remember al-Muthanna, the warrior who regretfully said his tribe feared Persia too much to help? Well, years later, after embracing Islam, it was al-Muthanna himself who would lead the Muslim armies in the conquest of Iraq. The very man who was once too afraid to defy the Persian Empire became the instrument of its downfall. That seed that was planted in that tent had borne the most unimaginable fruit.
In the end, the search for support revealed a profound truth. Success isn't always measured by the deals you close or the allies you win over immediately. True, lasting victory, well, that often comes from sources we never expect and on a timeline we couldn't possibly foresee.